Between rising and breakfast, she usually worked on her sewing. Julia took early morning callers or handled her correspondence, of which there seemed to be quite a lot. The morning light was the best light of the day to do fine work by, and Amelia was determined that the new trimmings be applied to her old gowns with the finest of stitches. This morning it was with a sense of great triumph that she went down in a newly trimmed muslin gown. Although it was long-sleeved, she was already cold after putting it on, so she brought a shawl with her. She was very happy with her work. 3 rows of delicate lace applied with invisible stitches to the bottom third of the gown, which formerly had been untrimmed. Lace was ruinously expensive back home, and most people crocheted or knitted it themselves, or even made needle or pillow lace. But that sort of lace needed to be created with thread, not yarn, and took forever. "Very good," Julia said with approval when she came down to breakfast. "Quite appropriate for a morning gown." Amelia, who had thought she was dressed for the day, blinked. "Morning gown?" she asked. "A lady of means changes at least 3 times a day. A morning gown for duties at home and receiving early and informal visitors, a slightly more formal afternoon gown for receiving visitors who are not intimate friends, or, in the case of you and your sister, suitors, and then dressing again for dinner. If a lady goes out for a walk, or shopping, or riding, she would change into a gown specifically for that purpose." She laughed at Amelia's expression. "Don't worry. Although a lady is expected to show some variety, you can wear the same gowns over and over, and, indeed, it would be thought a marvel of wealth or extravagance to seldom be seen in the same gown twice." "Are there women who actually do that?" Amelia gasped. "Certain of the Cyprian class who, I have heard, show their power over their protectors by emptying his pockets as often as possible," Julia acknowledged. "But that is only gossip, and not the sort to be bandied about in our circles. We are expected to never acknowledge the existence of such females." Amelia could not help but reflect on the slave owners near to the Stonecroft plantation, and how whispers hinted of favorites certain landowners kept. Of course, just like the Cyprians, ladies were expected to be blind to such things, especially the wives of those landowners. "It seems to me that the Cyprians have the better life by far, provided, of course, they have been clever enough to set money aside for the day when they will be cast off for a new toy." Then she dared to say something to Julia that would probably be unthinkable to anyone else in this society. But someone who had accepted a leopard shifter in their midst could probably be counted upon to not fall into a faint at what she was about to ask.